There's a kind of discipline that makes people lower their eyes when you walk into the room. Not because you shout or because you're rich, but because your presence feels like a drawn blade. In this video, you'll watch an ordinary, distracted man named Daniel transform into that kind of person, guided by his quiet neighbor Wu, who teaches him the same principles that once forged the samurai. You'll also see exactly how to copy their system and start using it today. If you stay until the end, you won't just feel motivated for a few hours. You'll leave with a practical, samurai-inspired blueprint to build a discipline so strong, it actually scares people around you. You'll learn how to turn discipline from something you fight for into something that fights for you, even on your worst days. You'll have to decide whether you'll be the one who keeps starting over or the one who never has to. Chapter 1. Daniel keeps losing to himself. Daniel is 32. He works in tech, knows every productivity buzzword. Deep work, dopamine detox, morning routine. His phone is full of habit apps, unread summaries, and 5 a.m. alarms labeled gym, read, build business. But his real routine looks like this. Day 1, total motivation. Day 7, this week is crazy, I'll restart Monday. Day 14, new habit, same pattern. Same quiet self-disgust. He believes he's weak. He tells himself, maybe I'm just not disciplined. Maybe other people are built differently. Then one night, he meets Wu, his older neighbor. You're still awake, Wu smiles. But your alarm keeps crying early every week. And dying early too. Daniel laughs awkwardly. You heard that? Thin walls, Wu adds. Thinner excuses. What keeps you in bed when it rings? Daniel sighs. I plan big, set alarms, hype myself up, and then my motivation just disappears. Maybe I'm just not built for discipline. Wu shakes his head. Once, a young samurai asked his master the same question. How do you stay motivated every day? The master said, I don't. I stay trained. What does that teach you, Daniel? Wu asks. Motivation burns like paper, but discipline is stone. You're not weak. You've just built a life where every promise has an exit. Wu looks at him. You move, yes, but nothing inside you has truly begun. For the first time, Daniel realizes he doesn't need more energy or strength. He needs fewer decisions. Chapter 2. The public vow at the elevator. That night, he closes his phone, grabs a marker and a piece of cardboard. I, Daniel, will wake at 5:30 a.m. for the next 60 days. 20 minutes training, 10 minutes silence, 20 minutes deep work, no gaps. Heart racing, he tapes it next to the elevator button everyone presses. 2 neighbors read it and joke, that's intense. I give you a week. Wu steps out behind them, reads, and simply nods. Samurai made vows in front of their clan, he says. You made yours in front of your friends and neighbors. What if I fail? Daniel asks. Then everyone will know, Wu replies. That's why you won't. Chapter 3. The bell that never moves. First morning, 5:30 a.m. Daniel's hand is on snooze when he remembers the cardboard in the hallway. And so he sits up, reluctantly. The first week, he still treats 5:30 like a suggestion. 5:35, 5:50, sometimes 6:15, telling himself it still counts. On day 5, he bumps into Wu in the stairwell. You're late, Wu says. I'll do it when I get back, Daniel shrugs. In my village, Wu says, the temple bell rang every morning at the same time. Flood, snow, war. The bell never moved, the people moved. Right now, your alarm is begging for your permission. Turn it into a bell that commands. One exact time, every day. Decide once. Fixing one non-negotiable time deletes the daily when decision. But Daniel's mind isn't done yet. When it can't move the when, it attacks the what. And this is where most modern routines quietly die. But Wu has an answer here too. Chapter 4. The path through the forest. By week 2, Daniel is waking at 5:30 every day. but his mornings are chaos. One day he lifts weights. Another, he stretches and scrolls. Just for a minute. It feels flexible, smart. It's also fragile. One evening, Wu catches him in the hallway. "You train like a young samurai," he says with a wink. He practiced in a forest, taking a different route every day. Beautiful. But after months, there was no path. His master said, "The forest is full of your intentions. But where is your trail? Your mornings are like that forest. Choose one sequence. Same steps, same order every day. And make a path so deep, your doubts can't climb out." Variety feels exciting, but it creates tiny decisions that drain your willpower. One boring, repeatable sequence lets your body run the program, while your mind stays quiet. Chapter 5. The ugly mornings that matter most. The third week hits hard. One night, Daniel's boss messages him, "Early client call, unexpected crisis. Be online by 7. His first thought, "No way I'm doing the routine. I'll skip tomorrow and restart fresh." The old script is back. He steps into the hallway to throw out trash and runs into Wu. "Tired?" Wu asks. "Exhausted," Daniel sighs. "Early meeting. I'll probably skip tomorrow morning and just sleep." Wu nods slowly. "There is a saying from the samurai," he says. "The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war." Tomorrow is war for your old self, he says. On peaceful days, anyone can train. The ugly mornings decide who you become. Daniel hesitates. "So, what do I do?" "Do less," Wu says. "But never nothing. Cut the routine in half, but don't let the chain break." The next morning, Daniel wakes at 5:30. Everything in him screams, sleep. He rolls out of bed, does 5 minutes of light movement, 5 minutes of sitting, 10 minutes of focused work. It feels unimpressive, weak, but when he logs into his early call, he knows one thing. He didn't become someone who used to have a routine. Not today. Perfection is the enemy of identity. Consistency isn't about always doing the full version. It's about never allowing zero. Ugly reps count more than beautiful intentions. Daniel has now fixed his time, carved a single path, and survived his first ugly mornings. But life still has bigger attacks ahead. In a moment, Wu will give him one final tool that turns every future obstacle into a trigger for discipline instead of an excuse. Chapter 6. The Notebook of Predecisions. On a rainy Sunday, Daniel knocks on Wu's door with 2 cups of coffee. "I think I get it now," he says. "Fixed time, simple sequence, doing something even when it sucks." Wu smiles. "Good. Now we make it bulletproof." In the dojo, Wu says, we learn to decide before the battle. For example, if he attacks high, I cut low. No time to think. Thinking is slow. Preparation is fast. He slides a blank page toward Daniel. "Write this at the top. When life attacks my routine, then list every excuse that ever broke your habits." Daniel writes, "If I sleep badly, if I'm sick, if I travel." "Now," Wu says, "next to each, write what a disciplined man does. Small, realistic, automatic." So he pairs each excuse with a tiny action. A few minutes of movement, breathing, or a shortened hotel room version. Wu nods. "Good. Now understand. Your future self no longer gets a vote. The man at this table decided for him. Predecisions turn your weakest moments into scripted responses. You stop negotiating because the deal was already signed on a better day. And stay with me until the end, because I'll close with one question Wu asked Daniel. A question that will decide whether this stays a nice story or becomes your new reality. Chapter 7. The Man in Apartment 4B. Weeks pass. Daniel doesn't talk much about his routine. He just follows the script. He wakes at 5:30, moves through the same sequence, runs the smaller version on brutal days, flips open his notebook when life feels chaotic. Neighbors start to notice. The guy in 4B is always up early, someone says in the lobby. Lights on before dawn every day. At first, I thought it was weird, another replies. Now it's kind of intimidating. One evening, Daniel and Wu ride the elevator together. "You seem different," Wu says quietly. "I feel different," Daniel answers. "At first it was a fight every morning. Now, it's just what I do." Wu nods. "Samurai bow before training," he says. "Not to show humility to others, but to confirm identity to themselves. I am the one who endures." You bow to your routine every morning now. Later, a friend messages Daniel, "How do you stay so motivated, man?" "I can't stick with anything." Daniel looks at his phone, smiles, and types, "I don't stay motivated. I just became someone who doesn't negotiate with himself anymore." The highest level of discipline is not endless struggle. It's identity. When your habits become who you are, the question, "Will I do it today?" disappears. Now you've seen how their small conversations forged a code that will work for you as well. Here are the 3 blades of that code, the ones you can start sharpening today. Public vow instead of private wish. Stop hiding your commitments. Make one clear promise and put it where others can see. Identity protects what ego would quietly abandon. One fixed time. One simple path. Turn your alarm into a bell that never moves. Choose one boring, repeatable sequence in the same order, every day. No gaps, only smaller versions. Write your own page. When life attacks my routine, and pair each excuse with a tiny, non-negotiable response. On bad days, do less, never nothing. So, you've seen. You don't need more motivation. You need a system that moves even when you don't. A system you design once and then defend daily. Once you build that, you carry an invisible weapon. The power to act without asking, to rise without waiting, to live by design instead of default. That is the discipline that quietly scares people. Not because you're loud, but because you're relentless. Are you willing to let the weaker version of you die? What will be your public vow?